Hey everyone, this is Coach Yani Moya and I'm a transformational life and finance coach. Welcome to Quarter Life Bliss. This is a podcast dedicated to disrupting the quarter life crisis mindset, spreading bliss and happiness to all listeners. My mission is to inspire possibilities, taking away the fear of going through your 20s and to crisis-proof your quarter life. At 25, I'm very happy to share that I'm living a life of purpose, successfully content and happy even as I evolve with the times. These lessons, tips, and insights I now share with all of you, in the hopes that you too will find your quarter life bliss, whatever your age and circumstances. So hello guys, welcome back to Quarter Life Bliss, and I think nabitin kayo sa episode 1, that's why you're here. If you're listening and if you're watching on the same day you finished my first episode, maraming salamat po, because again, I'm very happy to just share whatever it is that I'm learning in my journey. And again, this is the first official episode yan. First official episode because this is the real content of my podcast. So again, if you're watching or listening to this, maraming salamat po. I really am very happy. Anyway, so for today's topic, we have the realities of self-love. Ayan. So self-love, this is again my favorite, most favorite talaga. Ganun ka-favorite na topic. As you may know, if you watched my Ichikahan series last year, I actually did Self-Love, The Truth Revealed. I think that was the title, with Joy Spring, Rocco Nasino, and of course Coach Ross Huson, where we talked about really loving, how to better love yourself. But for today, ayan, because I'm a big advocate of self-love and I'm very passionate about this topic, I want to talk to you about the realities of self-love. I don't want to talk about the fluff, or the cute process of self-love, but this is actually a reality check. How have you been loving yourself lately? How have you been showing up for yourself lately? This is the real test of self-love. So, for today's episode, we will be talking about all the misconceptions, and not just the misconceptions, but the realities, diba? Iibahin natin yung mga misconceptions ninyo. Because if you think self-love is something that is a one-day event, or if you think self-love is just literally treating yourself to a meal, then guys, you need to listen to this. You really need to listen to this, because hindi po ganyan ang self-love, no? Self-love, if I may share my personal journey, so like I said in episode 0, so this is a plug. If you haven't watched it, watch it please, so you know where I'm coming from. So in 2019, when I started my personal mastery journey, that's where I really understood what self-love is. That's where I really understood, ganito pala, hindi pala ito yung self-love na sinasabi ko before, but really understanding me. Okay? And because I understand the real concept of self-love, the real meaning of self-love, and because I started loving myself better, I actually really changed my life. Ulitin ko. Because I started to love myself better, I changed my life. Okay? So, like I mentioned in episode 0, or the pilot episode, that I changed my life since 2019. And a big part of that reason is my journey of self-love. That's why I'm very passionate about this topic. Okay, so by definition first, let's start with definition, okay? So, on Google, I actually searched for it. Self-love means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. O, diba? Yan daw yung ibig sabihin ng self-love via Google. Sinearch ko lang, what is the meaning of self-love? And that's right, no? I think in quarter life bliss, or bliss in general, whatever your age again, we need to learn how to love ourselves better. We need to understand how we can treat ourselves better. And that's part of finding your bliss. It's pouring so much love to yourself to the point that you're very complete. You feel very whole and perfect and complete all by yourself. So whether you're single or in a relationship, ayoko ng complicated, kasi kung complicated, malamang sa malamang, wala kang self-love. Okay. So, I wish I could tell that to my old self. To my younger self pala. Hindi pala old, but younger self, diba? But, again, whether you're single or in a romantic relationship, self-love is something that you need to learn. Self-love and the journey of self-love is something that you need to work on and to have to go through. Okay, so for me, what is the real concept of self-love, or what is the real meaning of self-love for me? Okay, this is my personal opinion. Self-love for me is like a jar. So I have my water jug here. This is like self-love for me, okay? So basically, self-love is like ito, gaano ba to ka puno? This is the kind of love that you have for yourself. I always talk about this because same example sa lahat ng nakarinig na nito, because this is really the definition of self-love for me. Self-love is putting so much water, punong-punong-puno, okay, itong bote mo or itong jug mo. This is yourself. Punong-puno to the point that it overflows, and the overflow is just the love that you give to others. So what we need to do, or what we want to do to fill our love for ourselves, is to fill your own jug. You fill your own jug with water, with love, with lahat na talaga, diba? So itatabi ko na yung bote because basically yun. Yung punong-puno ka na umaapaw na lang. So whether people give it back to you or not, it's okay because puno ka pa rin, galing lang sa apaw mo. That's the real definition of love to yourself. So maybe if you're listening to this, what I want you to do is to maybe think, what is your level of water in your water jug? What is your level of love that you have for yourself currently? Okay, currently, nasaan ka ba ngayon in terms of really loving yourself? So, let's say 50% ba yan? Kalahati ba yan? Is it 90%? Or is it 200% na literal umaapaw, sobra-sobra yung pagmamahal sa sarili? Self-love for me is basically 3 things. Okay, number 1, learning how you can best love yourself. Number 2, finding happiness within yourself. And of course, the most important is number 3, how love can come from within. How love can come from your overflow of love that you've given to yourself. So let's talk about my first point first, which is how you can best love yourself. Okay, let's talk about quickly the 5 love languages, and maybe reality check also again for you. How have you been showing all of these 5 love languages to yourself? Okay, so the number 1 love language is actually called quality time. Okay, ito talaga yung dating yourself every day, how you can spend time with yourself. And the way I do this is that I do quiet time every day. I have to spend time with myself. The thing is, diba, we have all of the excuses. Okay? So if you're listening to this and you have all of the excuses because I have my 9 to 6 work, or my 8 to 5 job, or maybe because there's just too much work, I will never have time for myself. Maybe if you're a parent, I would hear this a lot from my friends who have kids. Laging sasabihin, imposible ka talagang mag-self-love pag may anak ka na, or kapag may asawa ka na, hindi mo na magagawa yan. Okay, this is a reality check, okay? Sa totoo lang, can you wake up earlier than everyone else? Or can you stay up a little longer than anyone else that in the house that you can easily make time for you? So quality time is actually, you watching that Netflix movie, you reading that book that you really wanted to, you doing that, alam mo yun, magluto ka, mag-bake ka ng gusto mo talagang gawin, and really spending time with you without work, coming from me, without work, without your laptop, without your phone with you, without any other people, just spending time with you. How do I, even gardening, diba? One of the things that I actually do is spending time with my plants. Okay, diba? Magtubig-tubig habang naka-headphones, okay, and lalakad-lakad lang dyan sa garden. So That's you spending time with yourself. The thing is, especially during this lockdown, we give a lot of our time to others. Ang daming Zoom calls. Maybe if you even go to work every day. Maybe if you spend, alam mo yun, spend so much time with your family on a day-to-day basis. We keep giving time to others, but we keep forgetting as well to give time to ourselves. So, here's a reality check. Maybe for, and the challenge for you actually, maybe for today or for tomorrow, start making time for you. Okay? Number 2 is physical touch. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nitong physical touch? Maybe iniisip ninyo, paano ko i-hug ko sarili ko, i-kiss ko sarili ko, diba? Hindi. It's how do you take care of your body? Do you eat healthy? And do you, alam mo yun, work out? Do you spend time making sure that your physical body is healthy? That's you, loving yourself better in the form of physical touch. Paano ka maligo, 'di ba? Is it smooth lang yung paghawak mo or bara-bara na lang? Alam mo 'yon? That's physical touch. And things like this, we often overlook or we don't do or we don't give attention to because hindi natin alam. It's you making sure that the way you touch others, kung may anak ka nga, napaka-careful mo, pero pag sa sarili mo, hindi. Kung may boyfriend ka nga, napaka-maalaga mo, pero sa sarili mo, hindi. Care for your body the way you would care for others. Number 3 is words of affirmation, or what do you tell yourself every day when you're alone? Do you even recognize yourself? Do you even say good things to yourself? The thing is, words of affirmation, we keep giving it to others as well, that we forget to give it to ourselves. The thing is, every single day may napupuna tayo about ourselves, that it accumulates in our mind all of the negative things that we keep telling ourselves. So change the language. Change the language as to how you would affirm yourself. Remove all of the negative things that you keep repetitively keep saying to yourself. Okay? Number 4 is your gifts, 'di ba? Ito na talaga. Ang favorite ng lahat because they think that treating themselves or buying that Shopee or Lazada item that they always wanted means loving themselves, 'di ba? Ito yung sinasabi natin, deserve ko to. Ito yung favorite ng lahat. But actually, gifts is buying things that you really want for yourself without having the guilt. Now, oh my gosh, I spent too much. It could have been for my family. It could have been this, that. Bilhan mo naman yung sarili mo on something. It can be as simple as your favorite dessert. Let's say ice cream, diba? Your favorite coffee. For me, yung coffee, cup of coffee. Sometimes I buy it for myself because I want that. That's giving gifts to yourself. And number 5, and of course the most important, is your service, acts of service. Pinagsisilbihan mo ba yung sarili mo? 'Di ba? Pinagsilbihan mo na yung boss mo, pinagsilbihan mo na yung nanay mo, yung kapatid mo, yung anak mo, lahat na pinagsilbihan mo, yung jowa mo, but you actually forgot to serve yourself. Pinagtimplahan mo na yung lahat ng kape, yung sarili mo, kinalimutan mo. That is the reality of serving yourself. It's serving yourself without the guilt of saying, naku, sayang yung oras pag ginawa ko pa to for me. Nako, papagawa ko na lang sa iba. Nako, hindi ko deserve mapagsilbihan yung sarili ko. My second point, which is finding happiness within yourself, actually will be coming from all of these. Kasi every day, and personally ako, 'di ba? Every day, if I keep giving this to myself, I never feel nakukulangan ako. I never feel na nababawasan ako dito sa aking jar. 'Di ba? Or sa aking water jug. When I practice this to myself, and whenever I challenge myself to show this to myself on a day-to-day basis, that's when I really find happiness from within. That's when I can love coming from my overflow. That's when I can love coming from within. Coming from the truth na umaapaw na lang talaga yung pagmamahal ko sa sarili ko. But the thing is, upon going through this, diba? Sabi mo, Yani, ang dali sabihin sa'yo because you're not in my position. Ayan yung lagi kong nakukuha. Okay, let's be honest. Yan yung lagi kong nakukuha sa lahat ng tao. Yani, ang daling sabihin because you're not in my position. Ang daling sabihin because hindi mo pinagdadaanan yung pinagdadaanan ko. Ganyan po yung mga drama ng mga tao. And here's the hard pill to swallow. When you start to love yourself, you start to get over your drama and your excuses that you keep giving not just to me but to you. Okay, that's the real deal here. Okay, and let's talk about the hard pills to swallow. Number 1, that's really accepting yourself for your imperfections. Okay? Bakit importante that you accept yourself and for your imperfections? Because when others see you for your imperfections, you would need to look beyond your personal imperfections, your insecurities that you have for yourself. Because in loving yourself, in the journey of self-love, marami kang makakasalamuha, marami kang makakasama that will challenge the way you look at you. And the most important part is that you show up for yourself every single day, accepting every part of you. Okay, ulitin ko accepting every part of you. Because again, ito personally, dito ko nahirapan na accepting that I'm not perfect. Diba? Sino ba naman ang hindi gusto maging perfect? Especially sa mga shout out sa mga taong perfectionist like me. Diba? I never see myself perfect, especially just looking at the mirror, especially looking at my work. Parang lahat na lang ng bagay, may negative thing akong makikita. And lahat yon feeling ko because I'm not perfect. And the journey of self-love will allow you to accept yourself fully, to accept that you're not perfect, and that's okay. You're not perfect because you're human. And the thing is, when you accept that you're imperfect, you become authentic. You become genuine and authentic and real when you are in front of others. Because for yourself, tanggap mo yung sarili mo. You let go of all the masks that you put up whenever you meet people, whenever you talk to people, because you want to show that your life is perfect or because you are perfect. Diba? But the thing is, kahit anong gawin ko, there will always be someone better than me. There will always be another person's opinion of how perfect should be, how perfect would look like, how one part of your body or part of your work or part of your character or your well-being will change, diba? This podcast, this is not perfect and people will have something to say, but the thing is, I like me, I love myself, so I know my imperfections. Maybe may wrong grammar, maybe nakakainis na taglish, maybe may mali sa ginagawa ko, maybe may mali sa sinasabi ko, but that's okay. I am not perfect and that's okay. I'm okay with that because I love myself and I've accepted the fact that I'm not perfect and nobody is, right? And what I love about accepting your imperfections is that you don't expect others to be perfect as well, because you know everyone is a work in progress. You know that everyone is human being and that they aren't perfect, right? The second hard pill to swallow is loving yourself no matter what. Even if others don't, okay, again, in the journey of self-love, there will come a time, okay, ito para to sa mga heartbroken na mga tao there will come a time that your romantic relationship won't love you anymore. Okay, for those of course na nasa broken-hearted stage. So, dun sa mga in a romantic relationship, guys, it's okay, diba? I don't want you guys to go through that. But in loving yourself no matter what I want to point out here is that kahit na madaming sinasabi yung mga tao sa'yo, kahit na magkaroon ka ng bashers or haters or others tell you that they don't love a certain part of you, you should be able to say, it's okay because I love myself. In the journey of self-love, marami talagang instances, maraming circumstances that will challenge the way you love yourself. Like, at one point, 'di ba, I didn't want to do this podcast anymore because I said, teka lang, marami akong ganito, baka marami akong hesitations. marami akong dramas for myself. But it's accepting, teka, okay lang if others don't like me because at the end of the day, I like myself. I love myself. And other opinions won't matter anymore. That's the real self-love. That's the real pill that you need to swallow. That every time there will be a challenge for you to show love or to choose love to yourself, you have to be bigger than any other drama or person telling you about their definition of love, their opinion of love, because their opinion doesn't matter. Whether they love you or not, you have to love yourself. And of course, loving yourself would mean embracing your dark side. Embracing your dark side, embracing that you're, again, let's go back to not being perfect. Embracing your dark side means, lahat naman tayo may dark side. And I don't even want to talk about mine. Let's start with that. I don't even want to talk about mine. And that's okay. Because I know you also have your own personal dark side, diba? These are things that we are working on. These are things that we wanna be better about. What embracing your dark side means, meaning you are in control of your dark side. Meaning, you know your dark side, kailan mo to papalabasin at hindi. Parang vampira lang. Diba? Kailan papalabasin yung pagiging vampire mo. You wanna be in control. And embracing your dark side, meaning accepting na there are certain parts of you that maybe you're working on, maybe not, maybe hindi na mo work on, maybe that's you, and that's okay. Okay? And of course, your dark side also means your negative belief system that you have for yourself, your negative belief system that you keep on repeating in your subconscious mind or even in your language every day. These are things that you keep doubting and questioning about yourself. Every day, may negative belief system akong paniniwalaan about me na hindi naman talaga totoo. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not deserving. All of these negative belief systems that we have in ourselves. And the good thing about going through self-love journey is that when you go head on, diba? When you go head on dito sa mga things na paulit-ulit mong sinasabi sa sarili mo, you will actually understand and challenge yourself to get into the positive side of that. Paano mo bababalik na rin itong mga negative belief system na nasa isip mo, na nasa subconscious mind mo, or that you keep on telling yourself na ito yung totoo, right? So in self-love, whenever you say you're not good enough, how do you now prove to yourself that you are good enough? In self-love, whenever you say, I'm not deserving of this, how do you say you are deserving of this? How can you challenge yourself to make you feel that you are deserving of everything that you want? That's the truth about self-love. Next is, and my favorite, or one of the things that is very hard pill to swallow. The fifth one is actually called holding yourself accountable for change. 'Diba? Because the truth is, lahat to pwede ninyong malaman, lahat to pwede ninyong gawin, lahat to pagdadaanan ninyo. But how willing and how committed are you to change yourself despite the excuses, despite the drama, despite the reality, despite what others would say, etc., etc. It's holding yourself accountable that, okay, I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to work on this. I'm not good enough I think I'm not good enough, but what am I willing to do? How am I willing to commit to myself to change that mindset? It's holding yourself accountable, because in self-love, your only accountability body is yourself. In self-love, you are accountable for you. You are on your own. That is the real journey of self-love. The truth about self-love is that it's not a one-day event, okay? It's not tinreat mo lang sarili mo, hindi po. It's a long, continuous, evolving process that you would need to want. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mong gustuhin. You need to discover it for yourself, because my journey will be different from yours, from hers, from his journey, from everyone else's journey. And the truth about self-love is that accepting that you're a work in progress and committing to bettering yourself, being held accountable for the way you love yourself. The truth about self-love is learning when to say yes and no to yourself and be okay with it, and accepting that others will also say yes and no to you and still being okay with it. That's the truth about self-love. It's not fluff, it's not just cute. It's choosing yourself every single minute of your life. That's self-love. And yeah, again, hopefully madami kayong natutunan for today. This is my personal story, this is my personal journey, and this is what's been working for me, and hopefully kayo din work on you, because you deserve all the love that you can give to yourself today, darling. And you deserve all the love that you've given to yourself. You've been giving to yourself. So continuously work on you, continuously love yourself, continuously accept yourself, and that's it. You'll see progress. You'll see better love for you. So yeah, choose yourself every day and have a great and blissful day ahead. Bye! Once again, this is Coach Yani Moya reminding you to breathe and live your best life every day. Because remember, when you tap into your state of bliss, you unlock limitless possibilities. If you enjoyed this episode, do follow and subscribe for weekly content. You can also follow me on my socials at Coach Yani Moya on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. See you next week!